Welcome to Stop Now. I'm JK, back this week with a whole lot of experiment that has been done. So you all know that this is a call-in show and you can join me anytime with the number displayed on the screen. So I'm trying to put in the Zoom as well. You can join through Zoom if you have connections to that, or you can directly call me in the number 512-298-4047. So that is what we are going to do, and surprise part is we are going to come to an end of this call-in show format on this time. Don't be surprised, we are not going away. We are going to reformat it and do more fun stuff, have some game show. You can all play a truth or dare with me by calling in, and it will be on from the April. It's going to be on Sundays morning times, so I will update those things. And a quick note, my co-hosts are pretty busy this week. As you all know that we were trying to experiment, Nate profile was set up, and we had so much going on that to share with you all, how a fake profile gets traction and how you can get a job using that. And Nate was quite surprised and excited as well, and he did a couple of mistakes by emotionally telling his uh, original date of birth and social security number and all those things. So that's why I was not uh, very comfortable playing out all those part, but still we have other stories to share in. So we will be hopefully playing out some of other interviews that I gave. So our team was able to edit those things. If you all can listen to that and give your comments and feedback on that, it's much appreciated. Maybe I will try to find some of the few other interviews as well and play out those clips for you guys. Okay, right now, welcome to Start Now. I'm JK. This is a part of our social experiment series. This has nothing to do with anyone. We are conducting a social experiment in which we have set up a profile for which an interview is going to take place now for ITPM manager, project manager role through the vendor NTT Data Services for the client Humana. I am recording this conversation, and the interview is being conducted by a panel of people. Hi, Kathy.
Hello. You know what? I'm going to rejoin because something's wrong with my video. With my audio. Okay. So I'll be right. Do we call you JK?
Yep, that's fine. JKs.
Okay, great. Welcome. Gerald, thank you for setting up the interview. Jill and I have this routine, and I think we'll stick with it. Okay. And I'd like to describe what the job is, what we're looking for. Jill will also provide some information, anything that I might have missed. We'll ask you then to give us a little bit of your background and how it fits into what we described. And that's when we'll have the question and answer session. We will, towards the end of our meeting, leave you plenty of time to ask your questions, because it's only fair, right? You're welcome to ask questions at any time, actually, but we'll go ahead and kind of give you enough space there at the end. How does that sound? Sound good?
Yeah, sounds good. It's fair, getting a chance to interview both at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. So Jill and I are program managers in the Humana pharmacy space. We have specialty. Jill is our specialty program manager. The specialty drugs include cancer drugs, HIV drugs, all of the things that are considered special, right? They're also the most expensive. We have our traditional line. That's me. I support those PMs that manage the projects in that arena. And that includes things like cholesterol drugs, over-the-counter drugs. It includes depression drugs. We're now opening up opioid on the traditional side. So there's a lot going on in our space to get this massive mail RX, our massive Humana Pharmacy mail subscriptions out and prescriptions out the door. Okay. We're expanding business into non-providers, non-members and members. So that's on our plate for this year. We are looking to engage more with our clinicians, the ones that are actually on the floor at the clinics and the hospitals. The project that I have for you is one I can't give. The first one is about $500,000. I can't give you the specifics other than just say it will involve creating the ability for non-members to get into our system. The other two are also, they're probably $500,000 combined, and they will be for enhancing the clinical area. So we've got two clinical projects and one that I can't really go into specifics except that it's big and very complex. It has about 8 to 10 other applications within Humana that we have to work with. We use vendors a lot, external vendors. The opioid interaction will come to us from an external vendor for the clinicians. And
okay, it's my turn. So
It's your turn.
so Jill, I'll go with you. Like, what is the? I always like to interact with individual peoples. What type of team dynamics in your team or as such, like Humana and
Sure. I'll give you my perspective, and I'll tell you I'm pretty new to Humana. I've been here less than 6 months. So as a new person, I probably have a little bit of a different perspective. Kathy's been here much longer, lots more experience, so maybe we can both answer it from our viewpoint. So I find it to be an extremely positive culture. I think that as a new person at Humana, it's a great experience to be able to go and ask for help or questions of people. And I haven't found anyone who isn't willing to help lead along the way or answer when questions come up. So it's very positive culture from that standpoint, but I will also say that it's complex. So there are, while most of my experience is outside of Humana and it was structured a little differently, there's a strong partnership here between IT project managers, which is what this role would be, business project managers, scrum masters, and technical leads. And it's almost, it feels a lot more lateral in leadership responsibilities for the team here than it has in places I've worked at in the past. So there's a lot of collaboration and coordination required to deliver work within the environment here, which isn't a negative thing, but it is something that complicates, I think, a little bit depending on what your prior experience has been. So that
I'll add on, yeah, I was going to add on to that too. It is a very collaborative area, especially, I mean, the PM team. I can't say enough good things about the PM squad. They're always willing to help each other and work together. I can also tell you that this is the most fast-paced environment you will probably ever work in. I've not seen a faster paced organization in my many years of working, even prior to Humana. Um, it's because of the business that we do. We are, you know, we supply drugs to people, and the system has to be private. The system has to be acknowledging and getting medicine to people who need it right away, in some cases, right? And so our environment of working is very rapid, fast-paced environment. And we have a lot of offshore. I mean, there's a lot of offshore, near shore in Central America, South America, Central America. And then we also have onshore, right? And it's a mixed bag. We have a lot of development staff and testing staff offshore in India. I think we have some in Romania or some of the other areas over in Europe and Asia. So it's a very big global team.
From my standpoint, Kathy, for you, the question is like, what do you think, like, from Humana standpoint, because of the nature of the project you mentioned, right? So the drug, prescription medicine, and the cancer patient medicine, those are very crucial things. So what is the importance in which, like, you emphasize in the project, like the three pillars, like the timeline, or is it like the budget, or uh, what is that, like the resources? How do you manage?
Yeah, all of the above, right? For project, we spend a great deal of time on budget, but it's also the quality. I mean, as we start up this agile transformation, we are looking at getting quality out the door, right? So we are, and to your point of agile, you mentioned it earlier, it's the speed of which we put it out there in smaller chunks, but we also need that quality. So we're getting closer and closer to measuring those things, the quality that goes around our systems, and things like that. So it's all of it, right? It's schedule, cost, quality, scope. Maintaining scope is pretty hard here, but that's why we're transitioning, to help the teams better, to help the teams more, getting that out the door.
Absolutely. Yep. All right. I think that's it. Like, how soon, like, finally, like, how soon do you think, like, this position is going to be needed, like, so that I can plan accordingly?
Okay. Yeah, that's a good question. We are continuing to interview, and we will provide, I'm hoping sooner rather than later, perhaps maybe by either tomorrow or early next week. We will be able to get back in touch with Gerald and let him know what our decisions are, or we'll continue, moving things forward.
Perfect. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I appreciate your time and your answers for our questions today. Hope you have a good evening.
Yeah. Same to you both. Like, thank you so much.
Hey,
Nice talking to you.
Thank you. I'll get back to you, Guru. Thank you.
All
Thank
right.
you. Okay.
Bye. Take care. All right. So this was the edited version of the interview. That was almost, I would say, like, we were having it 40 minutes to 45 minutes. It's a long interview, and we don't want to bore you all. If you are interested, we will upload the entire interview and share those things at a later time. And to give you more context on that, as I was mentioning in the previous episodes, for the same client, Humana, different vendors, right? We just saw the entity data services, and the other one, Etos Sintel, and also one other, Emits, did the interview. So I wanted to play those things, but again, with time constraint, we don't have so much going on this, and we edited and trying to play that as a smaller portion of it. Maybe you all will be able to understand how this works. Sure. Yeah, thank you for giving me this opportunity, and it's pleasure meeting you both.
Yeah, we're specifically looking for a Scrum Master, so let's talk more about your Scrum Master experience.
Yeah, sure. So
Okay, well, so a little bit about the team that we're looking for a Scrum Master is it's a team that's building APIs or microservices across the enterprise. And then we're also onboarding, other people that want to consume the data that we're building. It's in very high demand. We're ramping up regularly to meet the demand that we have. It's very fast paced. They've been doing Scrum and daily stand-ups for probably since the team started, so they're very familiar with that. They're fairly agile, but there may be opportunities to become more agile. Trying to think. We're located in Louisville, Kentucky, and right now, nobody is really in the office, and we don't really have a date projected to when people will come back in. But when we do get back in the office, if you were to get this role, would you be interested in moving to Louisville to be on the same floor with the team? Mitigate it. So okay. Well, I don't have any other questions. I was going to see if Vineet had any that he wanted to throw at you based on. Vineet has been the Scrum Master for this team, but he's been moved up to more of a tech leadership role. So that's what we're looking for, is to fill what Vineet was doing in the past.
So what I would expect from you is that we interact with multiple teams as part of our day-to-day work. So we have teams from whom we receive data. We have production support and maintenance teams. We have infra teams, and there are like multiple teams and external vendors involved. And a large part of it would be consumer handling. So you should be, the thing is, like, you should be comfortable working on multiple things at the same time. As we are growing in number of consumers over a period of time, then we are going to have multiple production issues as well. And anyways, I'll be there to help you out with things initially, and we'll have a formal KT sessions and everything so that you become comfortable. That's it, Sonia, from my end. I don't have anything else.
Okay, well, I don't either. If you want to stay on after he drops off, we can talk about next steps.
Sure.
Thank you. Nice meeting you both. Thank you, Sandra.
Nice to meet you.
Bye. So this was the funniest part. Like, it didn't even go for long, but then they even come back and offered the job. So that is more disgusting thing, like what these vendors are trying to do, fool around, and these big clients are not able to hire people and retain talents, and hurting people, like, by simply for no reason they are firing them. So that is why, like, we are making these videos and make an impact in the society, that people should get proper treatment and they should get justice. So this is kind of giving back, and we will deploy more robots into their company, and we can take them down if I could say that. All right, so but then nothing is going to happen in the short time, but meanwhile, like, I will play out the final fun part. Like, this vendor was one of the most pathetic ones, I would say.
I was, just telling him that, you would be joining us soon. So, Jay Imrul is going to do your interview today. He is part of the Humana project for which we are interviewing you. All right. Can you enable the video, Jay, so that we can start with the interview? I'll leave it up to you guys to do the interview. I'll be around, but I'll go on mute so that you can, talk without any interruptions. In case you need any help, you can always give me a shout out. All right?
Sure. Thank you.
Thanks, Imran.
Thanks, Mita. I guess the format that I want to follow, if you agree with it, is at the beginning, if you just quickly give me a quick background of yours and then tell me what it means to you to be the Scrum Master for a team. And then I will give you a brief background of the project, what are the challenges that we're facing, what do we need from this person. And then we'll carry over our conversation from there. Does it sound good?
Help the teams to execute the project in a successful manner. I mean, the role of project managers are kind of changing towards Scrum Master, I would say. It depends on enterprise client to client. I have more than 10 years experience on project management domain. All right. So yeah, then how about like, is there like a requirement how soon do I need to be on site, or is it like going to be remote?
There is no requirement for on-site because on-site, actually this position will stay remote even after COVID for another reason. The reason being the team is all over the country. Humana has an office in North California and another office in Southern California, and their headquarters is in Connecticut. Oh, no, sorry, Kentucky. So, in terms of the Humana people, there maybe 30% of Humana people live in San Francisco, 30% in San Diego, 30% in Kentucky, and the rest of them are spread across the country. There's people in Denver, there's people in Dallas, there's people in Nashville, Tennessee. So you can just say that if you go to one on-site location, then you will be reaching to all the teams. That's not going to happen. So that's the reason it will stay remote, because there's people all over the country.
Oh, okay. That's good to know. All right. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So I am, like I said, I'm talking to quite a few candidates because we have 4 positions to open. So, but we are moving pretty fast. So you will be hearing back from the recruiter in next day or two about for which way we want to go.
All right. Thank you. Have a good
Thank
day.
you so much for your time.
Yep. Have a good
Thank
day.
you for your time, guys. Have a good night. I know it's pretty late, so thank you.
Bye.
I'll circle back with you. Right? Thank you.
Sure. Thank you.
This lady was so pathetic that they can't turn their camera on, but they want the person to turn the camera and show the face to do the interview. So that is one of the funniest thing I have ever experienced. But anyway, that I knew that like it's not going to go anywhere. I wanted to surprise them at the end of the interview, saying that like, okay, this is a part of a social experiment and we are recording this and we are going to publish this, and wanted to see their reactions, how they freak out. So that things will happen in the forthcoming episodes. We will try to live telecast, and the broadcast will be live when more people join, and you can enjoy the show and have fun with that. So that is all I had for this week, and the more information with regard to other profiles and how we are progressing with this experiment and where we are going to head towards this will be shown in the next coming episodes. With that, I am taking off this week. Bye for now.